from the field. Denver is 3-0 straight up in their last trio of ball games. They've also won 7 out of their last 9 outright. Now, Sacramento on the other side, well, they dropped 3 out of their last 4 straight up. They're also 0-4 against the spread in those 4 ball games, failing to cover in each and every one of those games. The Sacramento defense is allowing 117 points per contest on the year. They're also 13-18 straight up as the underdog. Now, total-wise, Sacramento 2-2 to the under in their last 4 at home. Denver 11-6 to the under in their games when traveling. Give me Denver -3 and the under 227.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for the NBA. Then we'll hop into some college basketball. Houston at Golden State, 10:30 tip-off in Golden State. The Warriors open the betting as the 8-point favorite, and the total at 225.5. And once again, no movement yet on the spread or the total. We're still at that 8 number with the total at 225.5. So once again, the Warriors opened and remain -8. Total open and remains at 225 and a hook. And at the moment, the Rockets are plus 285 for some money line cash. Now, if you like Golden State to get the job done at home in this one, just keep in mind they've been pretty bad against the number this season. And when we look at overall for the year, they are 16-22 against the spread overall for the season. They've also successfully covered the number in just 8 out of 20 home games this year. This Golden State defense is allowing 111 points per contest on their home court. Golden State's also covering just 20% of their games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, Houston on the other side, they're 9-4 against the spread, taking on teams above 550. So with those really good winning teams, they've done an excellent job covering the number. And this Houston defense has been pretty good this year. They're giving up just 106 points per contest away from home. And Houston's red hot right now, 9-1 straight up in their last 10. Now, when it comes to scoring, Houston is 4-2 to the under in their last 6. Golden State 12-8 to the under in their last 20 at home. So with all that said and done, give me the road dog in that one. I'm going to take Houston +8 and the under 225.5 in that one. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at some college basketball. We're going to go ahead and slide into tomorrow's slate of games, and there we go. We're going to start off with Penn State at Michigan. 7 o'clock tip-off at Michigan. The Wolverines are -12, totals at 126.5. This Penn State defense is allowing just 69 points per contest on the road. Their opponents are shooting just 26% from the 3-point line in that very same category. Meanwhile, Michigan hasn't been all that good against the number this year. They failed to cover in 7 out of their last 9 at home. They're also 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 ball games at any location. Now, both teams are 10-0 to the over in their last 10 meetings. Give me Penn State +12 and the over 126.5 in that one. Next game, NC State at Miami, Florida. 7 o'clock tip-off at Miami. The Wolfpack opened the betting as the 3-point favorite, the total at 155. And since those markets opened this one up, not a whole lot of movement on the total, although we did see a little bit of movement on the spread. Right now, NC State's -3.5. So once again, NC State opened 3, now 3.5. Total open 155 and remains at 155. NC State has been very good this year, guys. 12-1 straight up overall for the year. 10-3 against the spread in that same category. This NC State offense is putting up 89 points per contest. They're also shooting 53% from the field. They are taking on a Miami squad who's just 4-8 against the spread overall for the year, and they have failed to cover in 7 out of their last 8 ball games. Now, scoring-wise, Miami's 5-1 to the under in their last 6. NC State 2-1 to the under in their last 3. Give me NC State -3 after buying the half a point and the under 155 in that one. Next game, Illinois at Indiana. 7 o'clock tip-off in Indiana. The Hoosiers open the betting as the 11.5-point favorite with a total at 145. And since those markets open this one up, no movement on the spread, although we are seeing movement upward on the total. That moved up to 146.5. So once again, the Hoosiers opened -11.5. They remain -11.5. Total open 145 up to 146 and a hook. Now, Indiana has been excellent this year. They're 11-2 straight up overall for the year and a perfect 9-0 straight up on their home court. This Indiana offense is putting up 83 points per contest on their home court. they're also shooting 57% from the field in Indiana. Now, the Fighting Illini on their side of things, well, they're scoring just 67 points per game on the road. They've also failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10 ball games. Now, when it comes to scoring, the Fighting Illini, well, 2 out of their last 3 stayed under the total. Meanwhile, Indiana, 8 out of their last 10 stayed under the total themselves. So with all that said and done, I'm going to purchase the half a point, buy it down, and take Indiana minus 11 in the under 146.5 in that one. Next game, Iowa at Purdue, 7 o'clock tip-off at Purdue. The Boilermakers open the betting as the 8-point favorite, total at 150.5. And since those markets open this one up, no movement on the total, although we're seeing a half a point fade of Purdue on the spread. Right now they're 7.5. So once again, the Boilermakers open -8 down to 7.5. Total open and remains at 150 and a hook. Right now, Iowa is 11-2 straight up overall for the year, 3-2 against the spread in their last 5. Purdue, well, they failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6. They're also just 3-4 against the spread at home. Total-wise, Purdue, 3-1 to the over in their last 4. Iowa, they're scoring 83 points per contest overall for the year. Give me Iowa +8 after buying the hook in the over 150.5 in that matchup there. Next game, Minnesota, Wisconsin, 9 o'clock tip-off in Wisconsin. The Badgers open the betting as the 11.5-point favorite with a total at 136. And since those markets open this one up, we're seeing a steady and consistent fade of the Badgers in the early going here. We're also seeing movement upward on the total as well. Right now, Wisconsin's -10.5 with the total moving upward to 137 and a hook. Once again, the Badgers open 11.5 down to 10.5. Total open 136 up to 137 and a hook. Wisconsin, very good this year. 10-3 straight up overall and a perfect 7-0 straight up at home. This Wisconsin offense is scoring 85 points per contest on their home court. They're also shooting 51% from the field in that same category. Now, Minnesota, on their side of things, they failed to cover in 2 out of their last 3 on the road. They've also failed to cover in 5 out of their last 6 at any location. When it comes to scoring, Wisconsin is 6-1 to the over in their games on their home court. Give me Wisconsin -10 after buying the hook in the over 137.5 in that one. Next game, Colorado at Arizona, 9 o'clock tip-off at the Wildcats. Arizona open -6, total open 139.5. And since those markets opened this one up, no movement on the spread, although we did see upward movement on the total up to 141. So once again, the Wildcats open and remain the 6-point favorites. Total open 139.5 up to 141. Now, if you like the Wildcats in this matchup here, just keep in mind they're taking on a Colorado squad who's been pretty good as of late. And as a matter of fact, Colorado has won 7 out of their last 9 outright. Their defense is allowing just 64 points per contest away from home. Arizona's failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. They're also just 4-5 against the spread on their home court. Now, when it comes to scoring, Arizona 6-3 to the under on their home court. Meanwhile, Colorado, 4 out of their last 5 on the road stayed under the total as well. So with all that said and done, give me Colorado +6 in the under 141 in that one. Next game, Shockers at Memphis, 9:30 tip-off in Memphis. Memphis open 5.5, total 152 and a hook. Since those markets opened this one up, Memphis has taken money. They're now -6.5 with the total remaining at 152 and a hook. So once again, Memphis open 5.5 up to 6.5, total open and remains at 152 and a hook. Memphis is 7-4 ATS at home, 5-2 against the spread in their last 7. Wichita State has failed to cover in 4 out of their last 5. Their offense is averaging just 51 points per contest on their home court. Not that that matters because they're traveling, but I figured I'd just throw it out there. Scoring-wise, 6 out of Wichita's last 7 games stayed under the total. Give me Memphis -6 after buying the half a point and the under 152.5 in that one. All right, next and final game for the show. It is going to be Stanford at UCLA. 11 o'clock tip-off at UCLA. The Bruins open 7, down to 6.5. Totals 146. Stanford is a perfect 5-0 against the spread away from home this season. They also successfully covered the number in 5 out of their last 7. I said that was Stanford. Those were stats for Stanford. Now, on the UCLA side of things, they were 0-5 against the spread in their last 5 ball games. They've also failed to cover in 8 out of their last 10. Now, scoring-wise, UCLA, 2-1 to the over in their last 3. Meanwhile, Stanford, 4 out of their last 5 got over the total. Give me Stanford plus 7 in the over 146 in this one.